Did y'all watch Friends Like These, the murder of Skylar on Hulu? Y'all, I have been getting into these documentaries, and the stuff that's been going on in these documentaries is so mind blowing. You would not think young girls could do the things that they do. You would not think that friends or young adults, people that are 15, 16, 17, would be harming each other. Like, y'all, we know about bullying and stuff like that, and how bad it can get, and people take their own lives, or somebody get hurt to a point where they're unalive, whatever the case is. But for young girls to put in their mind, like, yeah, we're gonna kill our friend, it's very much insane to me. That's why people say to watch your kids, watch who they hang out with. And I know at the end of the day, a lot of people will still be overlooked by some things, like, because they're teenagers. Y'all, Skylar parents did not once think that her best friend Sheila would ever have something to do with her death. Why? Because they had been friends since they was like 8 or something like that, and they were so close. Like, y'all, and for them to grow up since they was 8, and for them to be friends for years, and for that woman for them to stab that girl up to how many, 50 sometimes or something like that. They were best friends. You would never think, her daddy never thought that that young woman would do that to their daughter, Skylar. Who would think any young adults would be doing shit like this? Who would be thinking that people, like, two young girls would get together, like, yeah, we're gonna kill her? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that is so sad. It's so sick, because you are then, to make it so bad, they own Facebook and Twitter. What were they, Twitter? But at the time, they just like, we miss you, we hope you come home. And that's even more scarier. Do y'all know how scary that is for, a parent to have lost their daughter Skylar, and y'all, the two friends, are swearing up and down they don't know what happened, and then y'all getting on the internet swearing like, oh, we wish you come home, this, and the third, we miss you. But the whole time, it's y'all two crazy asses that done did something with this young girl. Like, and to think that y'all waited that long to confess, and then it was just that this whole documentary was just a lot. It was a lot to unpack. I felt so bad for the parents, because they swore up and down. Like, they was even telling police officers, leave those young girls alone. Leave Sheila alone. And I think the other girl name was Rachel, if I'm not mistaken, because I watched this a couple days ago. But he was just telling them, leave her alone. But he was talking about Sheila, though, because that's the one that's been friends since they was 8. Leave her alone. Leave that young girl alone. She's hurting like us. Whole time, she's not hurting like y'all. She killed your daughter. Because the other two friends, Sheila and Rachel, I pray I'm saying her name right, but I feel like I know it was Rachel. They was having sexual relationships, and they didn't want Skylar to, put their business out. Whatever the case is, one of the young girls, I think it was Rachel, her parents was very strict, very religious. So everybody could see why she wanted to come out, but nobody understood about Sheila, because her mom let her do, kind of whatever the case is. Like, and so their excuse was they didn't want her to say this or that. But no, like, y'all stabbed that girl up to almost like 50 sometimes, and was upset. Like, y'all, it was just so sad how it unfolded, because at first y'all are swearing, oh, we dropped her off at home and we didn't see her after that, or then y'all start saying we dropped her off right there, and no, the whole time y'all took her somewhere and y'all killed that young girl, and that is so fucking sad. Like, so this is, like, me bringing this to light. Like, of course I do movie reviews, but this documentary, Friends Like These, the murder of Skylar, like, this will open your eyes, just like the other documentary I did about the Casey girl, like, young woman. Like, y'all, even though they are teenagers, they are young people, they can still do the most horrific thing. They can, and they will. This just shows you, just watch. And sometimes, like her parents, I'm pretty sure they were very watchful. You wouldn't think nothing like this would ever happen to your daughter, especially by her best friends. Ever. You would never think that. Just keep your eyes open. Like, if you have a bad feeling about a certain child, whatever the case is, you see they just too, open, they do too much, or whatever, or they make your child start open and do stuff. Because that is a thing. If y'all are young adults, of course you can get your other friends to do certain things that you probably wouldn't do if you were by yourself. I truly think that's a thing. I think that's a thing, but just keep your eyes open, because this whole little documentary was a lot. It was a lot to unpack, and I would love for y'all to go watch this. I never leave y'all astray on my movie reviews, but this documentary, definitely go watch it. And if y'all have watched it, let them know. Like, and I know a lot of people don't like watching, this type of stuff sometimes, because it is scary. This is stuff that happened in real life, but I've actually like to start watching it, because you just never know, and it honestly just open up your mind to just think like, oh my gosh, people do think like this. People will do stuff like this. People have done stuff like this, and just protect your kids and think about the people they're hanging out with, and just always tell them you don't need friends. If they doing stuff you don't want to do, like, get away from them. If they make you feel some type of way, get away from them, because they had started making that girl Skylar feel some type of way for so long. Like, they was starting to do stuff outside the friend group, without her starting to match and not tell Skylar they matching, all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? They can hurt a young person's feelings anyways. So, this documentary just had me in awe, like, what the fuck. But y'all make sure y'all go watch Friends Like These, the murder of Skylar Neese. I think that's how you say her last name, on Hulu, you guys.